Hello. So today marks, well, tomorrow technically marks 3 weeks post Metoidioplasty in Brisbane, Australia, by Hans Gusen. I think that's how you say his name. I say it wrong every time, but that's fine. So I wanted to basically just make a video about the whole experience so far, not so much healing because I've pretty much documented all that already, but basically things that they don't tell you, what to expect, some hidden costs and things you can do to help with your recovery process, because as I was going into it, there was like no information that I could find anyway. So here I am making this video for fellow folks who would like to go through the same journey that I have. And I'm organised and I wrote a list. So, week 1 to 2, the surgery that, Hans does it in 3 stages. First stage is the release, creating a new urethra, and I also got a Metoidioplasty as well, so that's done in the first stage. So what he did all of that. He took the graft from my cheek to create the urethra. I think he also took a graft from internally as well. I believe that was just to take a little bit from each rather than one massive chunk from one place, but I'm not 100% sure on that. He did mention that he was going to take a little bit from inside, but I don't know if he's done that yet or he'll do that later. I can't quite remember. So the most pain I experienced, I didn't walk until about 3 days post-op, and that was really, really painful, not from my dick, but from my mons, from my abdominal area. That was where I got most of my discomfort, followed closely by my cheek. I have seen some other videos from people saying that the cheek was absolutely awful, but it really wasn't for me. It was just uncomfortable. I've had my tongue pierced twice. My tongue piercing hurt more than my cheek. But that being said, Hans did stitch it up for me, because he said that causes less irritation, like if it's stitched up. So I don't know if that's why, but I saw another video of someone, I think their name's Jake, but that could be wrong, saying that it felt like they had acid injected into their cheek, which I didn't experience at all. One thing with that is now it's very, very tight, and I find it difficult to drink, just because I can't push it out like, that's it, like it's significantly tighter. Anyway, so some things that they don't, or at least I wasn't told, I was terrified to get my catheter out. I was so terrified. I thought it was going to get taken out on Tuesday, which it wasn't. It was taken out on the Friday. And I was laying there, and I'm like, oh my god, he's going to do it, and I almost worked myself up into a full panic attack. I was so terrified, but that was fine. So don't freak out about your catheter. It didn't hurt me at all. Some people have said it stings, but it didn't sting me at all. It just felt like I weed myself a little bit, but apparently I didn't. The thing that did hurt the most, and I was actually doing really, really well, so probably maybe a week post-op. I was walking around. I walked like 45 minutes to the train station in Brizzy. That being said, it took me 45 minutes to walk 25 minutes, but the point is I was walking for 45 minutes and I was fine. But then when I went and got my stitches out, that was so painful. That was the worst thing that I experienced throughout recovery in that area. Like the mons area it was a different pain, you know what I mean? Like it was almost like muscular, like I couldn't use my abs with my mons area, whereas getting stitched out was really specific. It was really sharp pain. So that was really, really painful, and that took me, I couldn't walk for like 4 days after. Like it was really painful. So now at 3 weeks, it probably started maybe 2 days ago. I am getting nerve pain So all my nerves are rerouting and, you know, regrowing and trying to reconnect to places, because, you know, they took about this much skin from my mons. So that's a significant chunk of your body that is trying to connect up again. Another thing they did, which they didn't tell me, they put a silicone, I called it a dick tampon, they put a silicone bandage in my new urethra to stop it, like, collapsing in on itself and help the healing. But I didn't know that was there until, like, a week or two later. And then I looked down, I saw this fucking thing. At first I thought it was my skin, because, you know, you're weepy and you're gross, and I actually had no bruising. None. But yeah, I was weepy and bloody and yuck. So anyway, I looked down and I'm like, what the hell is that? I thought it was my skin, because it was like a yellowy colour. I'm like, oh my god, I'm infected. And then I took a photo of, like, under, and then I realised it was a dressing. So that's something that they do, and it is normal if it's yellowish, and it is normal if it stinks. That is something they didn't tell me, and I was truly, truly terrified that I was not healing correctly. But it is normal. But if you're worried, check, obviously. But anyway, that's something that I wish I was told. Oh, you do get drains, post-op. I had mine. I'm really bloated and fat at the moment, but I had mine. Oh, I can't. It was like here. But that didn't hurt getting taken out at all for me. But that being said, I had drains for top surgery, and that didn't hurt me. I didn't even feel it. So, I don't know, that's hit and miss. Could go either way for people, but I was totally fine with that. Oh, okay, this is one thing that I didn't expect. When I got my catheter out, I had to pee every 2 hours. My bladder, I swear, it shrunk. So I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh my god, I need to pee so bad. So I got up and went to the toilet, and it was just tickle. That was it. It was like tiny. It was the tiniest amount. And I'm like, I got out of bed for this. So you have to retrain your bladder, because it's not used to doing any work. So what I did is I just held on for like an extra 5 minutes, and then an extra 10 minutes, and just held on as long as I can. Like, obviously not making myself super uncomfortable, because that sucks, but definitely so you feel it. And then within 2-3 days, I'm back to normal. I still wake up like maybe once in the night, but you know, whatever. That's just going to come with time. It's better than waking up 4 times a night. Oh yeah, so my skin has reacted to my dressings. I've got this horrible, itchy fucking rash all around my waist, because I've had the bandage all here. It used to go all the way around, and it's for compression, but yeah, my skin just started reacting, so I've just kept it as minimal as I can now. So that's something. If you get really itchy under your bandages, it means your skin is freaking out. Particularly with my mons, I feel very tight, so I can't. It doesn't feel good when I stretch back, but I can't, like, you know, lean back too far, or you know, pull my abdominals up, because I just can't do it. Or like lean back, but you know, all that stretching kind of stuff, it's very, very tight, and it's very tight to touch as well. So that's another thing. With my dick, it feels very heavy. And it's the only way that I can explain it is if you've ever been swollen, like in your arm or something, and you go like that, and you feel the weight of the swelling, and it kind of feels really gross. That's how I feel in my pants. Like, I just feel heavy, and I'm not really that swollen anymore. Like, the surgeon said I have almost no swelling. It's just heavy because there's more there. And another thing they do that I didn't expect is, I'm going to talk about anatomy, sorry guys. For my body anyway, it, like, you had the dick, and then you had 2 little bits that were kind of attached to the dick, which essentially were the labia. and what they did is they actually closed it over, I think. So they got rid of that and just wrapped it around the peen. So I didn't expect that. That's one thing that I didn't expect. Okay, so some hidden costs. Hospital medication. They charge you for the drugs that they give you to take home. I expected that, but a lot of people were surprised that I received a bill. So that cost me about $175. Fuck. Get cats, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Yes, so it cost me about $175 for my drugs to take home. I've had to pay for almost every single consult that I went to see Hans, except for one post-op appointment. Otherwise, every other one I've had to pay for, which was $170. Also, I have been asked to fly back over in February, so maybe 2 months post-op, so that's another hidden cost. I don't know if I'm going to do that. That's a future problem. I'll deal with that later. But that's another thing. So that's the airfare, that's the consult again, and then potentially time off work. So that's another hidden cost that I didn't quite expect. Hospital excess, I mean, that's expected, but I paid a little bit extra per week, because I pay weekly, from my private health, to have a lower excess, just because I know how I am, and I know that would... that just works best for me. Anyway, so that's a thing, hospital excess as well. Think about that one. Another thing is, it is 110% worth getting private health. 110%. If they also underquoted me for my anesthetic, and the way they work there is you get a quote and then you pay for it after, and that quote isn't... It's a quote. It's literally like, this may not actually be the correct amount, which is not how it worked for my top surgery. So top surgery got my quote paid exactly that. Whereas this one, they quoted me for about 3-4 hours, but it took 5 hours. So it was about $2,000 more than I expected. So that's another thing. That's another hidden cost, I suppose. But yes, it is so worth getting private health, because I expected to be in hospital for 3 days. But I was in there for almost a week, because they wanted me there for a week. So yes, get private health. Another thing that they don't, there is a new law where they can put it under psychiatric, and you only have to wait 3 months. But one thing they don't tell you with that is, if they put it under psychiatric, private health may not cover the whole thing, because it's psychiatric, not hospital stay. So, in my opinion, wait a year and put it under hospital stay, not psychiatric, because you may be out of pocket more. Who knows how much? Maybe a couple thousand, maybe a couple hundred, maybe nothing at all. But it just, in my mind, isn't worth it, because you could be thousands of dollars out of pocket if they put it under psychiatric. So definitely worth getting private health. Wait a year, don't put it under psychiatric, put it under hospital stay. Now, some things that will help you with recovery. I was pretty good with my recovery. One thing, I took vitamin C tablets in the morning and the evening. Go to like a nutrition store or something. Don't go to Safeway, because half the time they're shit. You want something that your body will actually absorb and will actually help your recovery. So vitamin C helps your immune system. That's why they say take vitamin C when you've got a cold. Your immune system helps your recovery. So take vitamin C. I took it in the morning and the evening. I also had Benefiber leading up to my surgery to help me poop. Sorry, I'm so itchy. So I'm also a gym rat. I do bodybuilding. I'm a bit flat and watery and soft and gross at the moment, but that's because I haven't trained in 3 weeks. But yes, I definitely recommend getting quite fit, or at least getting some upper body strength. Condition your body into recovering. My body's recovered so well because it's like, yeah, it's just another day at the office. It's used to being put under physical stress, and that's why I've recovered very, very well. So even for 3 months before surgery, go to the gym, go for a run, do something, get your body conditioned to recovery, because that will make such a difference. And another reason I say that is because it pretty much takes your core strength and your lower body out of action. At least it did for me anyway. So I had to heavily rely on my upper body strength. To get in and out of a car, I essentially had to do a one-handed chin-up with my left arm, and I'm right-handed. And I was able to do that because I'm strong and I'm fit. But if you're not strong and you're not fit and you can't do that stuff, you're going to really struggle. So work on your upper body strength, particularly your shoulders and your biceps and triceps, because you also need to lower yourself down very slowly, which is tricep dominant when you sit down. So that's something. At least 3 months before, get fit, because it will help your healing and it will just make life easier so you can get in and out of the car. Pre-cooked food, or order pre-cooked food, because you're not going to want to sit over the oven and cook food. You're just going to want to sit down and just not move. Pre-cooked food. Get a donut pillow or a hemorrhoid pillow. I didn't get a vaginectomy, so it wasn't too bad, but it just allowed me, because I couldn't bend because of the incision on my mons. I couldn't bend, so I couldn't sit properly, so that allowed me to lean back further. Get a really long phone charger. That is helpful. Now this is a game changer, because you can't bend. Get one of these. It will save you, because, you know, the amount of times I dropped shit and I couldn't pick it up, not fun. Yeah, so get a grabber. I also got, see, I'm even using this now because I can't bend. I got a little med container to keep my drugs in order, so I didn't need the help personally, because I was quite clear by the time I got home, because I was in hospital for a week. But, you know, if they send you home earlier, you're going to be a bit groggy, a bit out of it. So I organise all the drugs that I need to take in order, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set an alarm for when you need to take it, and then you don't need to think. It just takes the thinking out of it. So that's one thing that's helpful. I had no appetite. I didn't want to eat anything. I could only drink things. So smoothies are great for the first bit. Like, I could probably have like 1 or 2 meals, and I eat. Like, I eat. I'm an eater. And I just didn't want to. Like, I'm even still at that point where I was like, I know I'm really hungry. Like, I feel like I'm going to faint, but do I want to eat food? No, I don't. So someone has to put food in front of me, and usually I like cold liquid. So smoothies are great for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry this video has been so long, but I just wanted to touch on everything, because there's no information, at least that I could find out there for people to actually view. Yes, thank you for watching. Sorry it's so long. You're all rad. This is my Harry Potter Christmas top. Peace out.